making this happen. It's been a pretty crazy week. Been a really busy month, honestly. I haven't gone live for a while here in the middle of the week, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I was away on or at the district conference there the first week of October, then took a little vacation time with Jackie and the kids out to the Poconos, and then last week we went to. I was on a pastoral retreat with a pastor friend of mine, just spending some time spiritually recharging and praying and spending time with God, and it was a great time for that. And so I know I haven't been around a whole lot in the end of the weeks there. That's kind of when we took that time, but have certainly miss whenever I'm not there with you. I do appreciate Reverend Allen filling in this past week. Did a great job presenting, giving us the sermon this past Sunday, so that was awesome. And I do want to recap just a little bit. I know what Pastor Allen was talking about from Sunday. Obviously coming from The Cure. I know he's read the book and appreciated what they wrote in there. If you haven't picked it up, highly encourage you. It's called The Cure by John Lynch and some others. You can. I found it very difficult to find, actually impossible to find a physical copy anywhere local, but you can get them online. I've said before, and I'll say it again, if you do need a copy and you're not comfortable shopping online or it's just not something you do, call the office, let us know, and we'll pick up a copy for you and make that available to you so that you have that book, because it is a fantastic read. We're not going through it systematically, or the sermon series is loosely based on the book. We're going to be talking a lot about concepts found in the book, but I feel it'll benefit you a lot more to read the book yourself and to spend the time with the Lord as you process through that, like many of us are doing and have done already. But that idea of running from reality and trying to go back. If you read the book, part of what Reverend Allen was talking about from Sunday is how we will see the benefit. We'll see what it's like to live in the grace of God, and we'll experience that. But then we run. We want to go back to old systems, old ways of doing things. We find ourselves, just like the Israelites, sometimes longing for what was. We have these fond memories of how good things used to be, and we forget at times how miserable we were. If you think about the Israelites, when they're walking through the wilderness and Moses is leading them, and as they complain, like, oh, we wish that we could just go back to Egypt. And I can picture Moses looking at them thinking, like, are you crazy? Do you remember what it was like? How do you not remember how bad it was? Like, how can you only remember the good things? And for some of us, we've been walking with the Lord for a while, and we think back to some of the patterns of behavior. And Satan can, even if we're not careful, convince us at times that it was better back there. Well, we had more fun. It was more enjoyable. Things were more laid back. We had more time to ourselves. Whatever the lies are that we have allowed ourselves to believe, we can start to believe it was better before we met Jesus. And it only takes a little time in the presence of God to feel, to know his grace, to experience his grace, and realize there's nothing better than being in the presence of God. And so we're going to be continuing in this series this Sunday as coming up, and I'm going to be picking it up we haven't gotten far in the book. I know this series is going to take us up to Lent. I don't know if it'll take us into Lent, but it'll certainly take us up to it. And I don't have plans for this to continue on, but my plans don't always get precedence. It's always where the Lord wants to take us, and we'll go where he's leading. So you have some weeks to read this book. It is a really easy read for those of you that picked it up. You probably realize it's easy to get through. The chapters are relatively short. You can really tackle a chapter a week or every other day or so. It's really easy to digest. But man, the spiritual implications as you sit and as you process through a lot of it, it really hits you and can really change you. So I don't know if you've gotten out to enjoy the beautiful fall. I think we might have passed peak. I think this past weekend might have been peak for us. But I love the fall. I love the temperatures. I mean, today it's, like 73 or 74 out. It's crazy warm for me. Feels like 80 after it's been so cold. So it's a little on the hot side, but I love getting out and enjoying God's the beauty of God's creation in this time. Many of you know that's where I connect with God, is to being out, to be in wilderness, to be in His presence out there, and to just appreciate the vastness of God and His power and His love for us. And to me, being outside just communicates a lot of those things. And so I encourage you, get out. This is probably today, tomorrow might be one of the last nice days we have for a long time. So I encourage you to take advantage of that, even if you're not someone who thrives in the wilderness like myself or in God's creation. My guess is, you'll at least appreciate having the sun on your face and enjoying some of that outside time. But as far as calendars concerned, I do want to make us aware that next Saturday, not this one, but next Saturday, the 4th, November 4th, can you believe, next week will already be in November. But next week, November 4th, Lions Men, we have our breakfast, 8 a.m. And then for the rest of us, or for the whole church, that is the shoebox packing day, 10 a.m. at the church. So encourage you to be a part of that. Many of you have been a part of our Operation Christmas Child in the past. I love that this church is one of those churches that gets into that and loves to bless kids all over the world through that. What an awesome thing to learn that our shipping costs are covered. That's an awesome blessing. And so, our challenge now is to pack as many boxes as we can, okay, and to bless those children across the world. And I think, to me, every year when Operation Christmas Child comes up, I think about, one day we'll be in heaven, and you can track your box now, which is kind of cool. So you kind of know where it ends up, but you don't know the face, you don't know the soul that it's interacting with. But one day I trust that we'll be in heaven and we'll be interacting with people who, in that point, I believe will know and that they got our box and it changed their life and it started them on their eternal journey with Jesus. And what an amazing blessing that is. That moves me every Christmas season as we think about the impact those boxes have, because Samaritan's Purse does an awesome job of taking the gospel in there, discipling people, and just an awesome blessing. So I think that's all I have for us. Cannot believe October has gone by so fast for us, and can't believe Twyla's already 3 months old, coming up on about a little over a week she'll be 4 months. And man, God has been so good this year. 2023 has gone by in a flash, but I hope you've taken time to be with God, to spend time with Him, to hear His voice. And the year's not over. So, redeem what's left. If you haven't had a good year, or if you've gotten off track, redeem what is left of this year. Spend time with the Savior. Enjoy His presence. Let Him speak to you, minister to you. And especially as we're going through this, really dive into the grace of God. Really experience God's grace. Feel it in your life. And I hope that it changes you as you interact with God, because I don't know how you can spend time in His presence and not be changed. And so spend that time. Be disciplined to put aside time for God, and spend that time with Him. So that's all I got. I really am looking forward to seeing you all on Sunday. It feels weird to me. All week it's been hard for me to remember what day of the week it is. Not being in service with you all on Sunday, it really throws me off. So God bless you all. Pray that you have an excellent week, end of this week, and I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday. If you can't make it on Sunday, if it's impossible for you to be there, then you can always catch us here online, but I hope to see your faces at service and to greet you all. Have a great week, and see you Sunday.